the importance of time and price in trading the financial markets. Can anybody tell me what they think about time and price in the financial markets? Okay, what you think about time and price? Just your perspective. I say something always, which is you are never wrong, or you can never be wrong on my webinar. Okay, because it's your perspective. It's the way you view the financial markets. Okay, it's the way you view the financial markets. It's your perspective. It's the way you view the financial markets. It's the way you view the financial markets. So you can never be wrong. So what do you think, or what idea do you have when you hear somebody say time and price in the financial markets? Time and price in the financial markets. What do you think it means when people say time and price in the financial markets? What do you think people say when you hear the word time and price in the financial markets? Anybody? Anybody at all? Okay, so basically, when we talk about time in the financial markets, we're talking about the session, okay? The session in the financial market. That's what we're talking about when we say time and price in the financial markets, okay? Now, price in the financial market is what happens to that certain financial instrument. That's basically what it means. So time, we're talking about the sessions when the market is open. That's what we're talking about. Price, what happens? So we're talking about the importance of these two things when they come together, time and price. When the market is open, what happens to price? That is basically what we want to talk about. And it's simple and easy and straight to the point. So let's dive right into it. In this session, you'll learn what time and price in trading is. You learn what time and price in trading is. You learn the different trading time in the Forex market. You learn peculiarities of this trading time, capitalizing on the reaction of price and time. Then we would gladly talk about the conclusion, merging everything together. Okay? So we said we'll talk about what price and time in trading is, the different trading time in the Forex market, peculiarities of these trading times, capitalizing on the reaction of price and time. Then we said conclusion. Now let's dive right into it. What is price and time in trading? What is price and time in trading? Every single projection or movement on the chart comes down to these two bodies, which is price and time. So what really is price and what really is time? Price is the cost representation of the value of an asset in the financial market. It is basically how much an asset goes for in the financial market. So price is how much a financial instrument costs. Okay? Price is how much a financial instrument costs in the financial market. It's just as if you're going to the market and you ask how much is a bag of rice. That is price. Okay, how much is a bag of rice? Then they tell you a certain amount. That is price. Okay, time refers to the different sessions in the financial markets. The market are open for 24 hours a day and 5 days a week. Within this 24 hour, there are 3 different sessions that runs for each hours each. Now, this time is just a very good example of the way we say it in Lagos, which is we have two types of markets. We have the market that people go to in the morning, market that people go to in the afternoon. We have three types of markets: market that people go to in the morning, market that people go to in the afternoon, and market that people go to in the night to purchase goods. That is just basically what we mean here also. During these trading sessions, okay, during these sessions or during time in the financial market, we're talking about trading sessions, which because of the financial market is open 24 hours a day. We can't say the market close in the morning, open in the afternoon, close in the afternoon, open in the night. No, we all just group it as 24 hours daily, which runs for 5 days a week. And within this 24 hours, we have three sessions. So if you're going to the market physically, you say the market is open from, let's say, 5:30 a.m. to as late as 11 in the midnight in the night, right? And you say, I don't want to go to the market in the morning. A certain good I want to purchase will not be available at that time, or it might be expensive at that time because there is a lot of people that are selling that goods. You say, I want to go in the evening, that's at the night, because all these people that are selling these goods would have gone up. The people that are remaining there are these people that need the money quickly, and you can give them your own price tag. You can give them your own price tag, and they will accept the amount you give them. Do we all understand now? Do we all understand the concept of price and time? Do we all understand the concept of price and time now? Based on life example, how I've put it to you, based on life example and in the financial markets, yes or no? Please do drop your response in the chat box. I'd like to get a lot of response to know you're following, okay? So do we all get the idea of price and time now? We said price is the cost representation of the value of an asset in the financial markets. It's basically how much an asset goes for in the financial market. While time refers to the different sessions in the financial markets. The markets are open for 24 hours a day and 5 days a week. And within these 24 hours, there are three different sessions that run for 8 hours each. And we say, using this example, price is just you going and seeing a bag of rice and asking for how much it costs. When they tell you how much it costs, that's the price. And we say time depends on when you want to go to the market to buy that bag of rice. You might not want to go in the morning, you might want to go in the afternoon, and you might want to go at night. It all depends on, that's just how it's structured. That's just how it's structured. So this is how price and time is in the financial market, the same way it is in real-time scenario, although there are a bit of differences, but it's all still aligning and talking about the same thing. Now, different trading time in the Forex market. In the Forex market, we have three major trading sessions. They are the Asian session, the London session, and the New York session. Now, I know you might have read online that there are 5 sessions or 6 sessions or 7 sessions, but truth be told, we've just got 3 types of session in the financial market. Sorry about that. We've got 3 types of session in the financial markets, and they are the Asian session, the London session, and the New York session. The Asian session, this starts at 12 a.m. Nigerian time and ends 9 a.m. Nigerian time. It coincides with when the London session opened. The Asian session is the first session that opens in the day, and it's always in the midnight till 9 a.m. It runs for 8 hours, okay? In the midnight to 9 a.m. All sessions run for 8 hours, and it's just from midnight to 9 a.m. And during the Asian session, you see how price moves. We'll come to that. We'll explain that very, very soon. The London session. This session starts at 8 a.m. Nigerian time. So you see why I said it coincides with the London session and ends 5 p.m. Nigerian time. It tends to coincide when the Asian session closes. The New York session, this session starts at 2 p.m. Nigerian time and ends 11 p.m. Nigerian time. It tends to start while the London session is ongoing. Okay, so all these sessions, they coincide with one another. Now, you might be wondering, why are we not talking about price first? Why are we talking about the sessions? Okay, why are we talking about the sessions in the financial markets? Now, the thing is, for price to react, there has to be time, which is the session. So you have to understand the time before the session. That's what we're talking about. And I believe we are all taking notes. We are all taking notes to understand that when this session starts, price will surely react. And you need to know the time this session starts to be able to capitalize on certain financial instruments in the financial markets. Okay, so the Asian session starts 12 a.m. to 9 a.m. and it coincides with the London, while the London starts 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It coincides when the Asian session wants to close, and the New York session 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. while the London session is still going on. So, peculiarities of trading time. Now, this is the most important part, which is different trading sessions carry different but undefined amount of liquidity and volatility. And for you as a trader to make consistent profits, understanding each of the sessions is the first step. Now, this is the reason we are talking about time and price. Different trading sessions carry different but undefined amount of liquidity and volatility. For a trader looking to make consistent profits, you need to understand each sessions. That is the first step to becoming profitable. Now, what is liquidity and volatility before we come into all of these things we're talking about? Can anybody give me an idea of what they think or what they believe liquidity and volatility is in the financial markets? You are never wrong on my webinars, like I said. It's your thoughts, it's your idea. So drop it in the chat box. Let's see those that understand or those that even have a grasp of what liquidity and volatility is in the financial markets. Okay, so please drop your thoughts about on what you think liquidity and volatility is in the financial markets. Okay, so I'm waiting for it in the chat box. I'll give 3 minutes for that. Okay, 3 minutes for that. What do you think liquidity is in the financial market? What do you think volatility is in the financial markets? What do you think liquidity is in the financial markets? What do you think volatility is in the financial markets? What do you think liquidity is in the financial markets? What do you think volatility is in the financial markets? Okay, still waiting for responses. Okay, volatility is the measure of how drastically market prices change. That's brilliant. Very, very brilliant, Motitola. Very, very brilliant. Volatility is the measure of how drastically a market's prices change. Brilliant. Very, very brilliant. Anybody else? Okay. Now, liquidity is all about money. Okay. The flow of money in the financial markets. Volatility is how price moves. Okay. How price changes, how fast price moves. That is just that's the simplest way to talk about liquidity and volatility. Now, every trading session has liquidity and volatility in it, money and fast price movement. You want to capitalize on that money and how fast price will move to be able to make a lot of money for yourself. Now, the Asian session, let's talk about the Asian session. There is a lot of liquidity and volatility in pairs that include the Asian currencies, such as the AUD, the NZD, and the JPY. It is best advised to trade these pairs during this session if you want to make consistent profits in the financial markets and you want to trade during the Asian session. Gladly capitalize on AUD pairs, NZD pairs, and JPY pairs if you want to make a lot of money during Asian session. And that is what you should capitalize on during Asian session because money will flow to these financial instruments. During the London session, there's a lot of liquidity and volatility in pairs, which include the European currencies, basically the European currencies, such as the EUR, the GBP, and the CHF. It is best advised to trade these pairs during this session. During the London session, you want to capitalize on EUR pairs, GBP pairs, and CHF pairs. Basically, those are the things you want to capitalize on in the financial markets during the London session. We want to capitalize on these financial instruments. The New York session, there is a lot of liquidity and volatility also in pairs that include the American currencies, such as the USD and the CAD. And it is best advised to trade these pairs during the session. Now that you've known the pairs to trade during which session, all you need to do is you need to go to your chart and see these things happen. But before we proceed to the next slide, I'll send out a poll right now. Please let's respond to it. Okay, so I just sent out a poll. Please let's respond to it. Thank you. So the poll goes, are we all following? Are we all following? Have I been making sense with everything I've told you from the first page of the slide to this current page of the slide? Have you learned anything so far? Are you understanding it better? I'd like to get a lot of response on the polls, okay? And if you've got any question, please save it for later. I'll be taking questions later on as the session almost comes to an end, okay? So are we all following? Please let's respond to the poll. Now, how price reacts during this trading time in the Forex market, on the financial markets, let's put it that way. During the summer, the Tokyo session and the London session, they overlap one another. Like I said, they overlap one another. And during both summer and winter, the London session and New York session overlap each other a lot. Now, naturally, during sessions overlap, they tend to be the busiest time every single trading day because there is more volume when two markets are open at the same time. Okay, so when liquidity or volatility comes into the market during any of this session, during either the Asian, London, or New York session, price tends to move up or down 25 to 50 pips. So during Asian session, AUD, NZD, JPY pairs, they tend to move up or down based on whichever direction they will go, 25 to 50 pips. London session, whenever it is opened, we have the EUR, the GBP, and the CHF. They tend to move up or down 25 to 50 pips. When we have the New York session, USD and the CAD pairs tends to move up or down 25 to 50 pips. Now, I'll show you. There's no need for you to say, no, it doesn't work that way or it doesn't this. I'll show you proof today, okay? And I'll show you with a trade I am in, okay? So let me share my screen right now. Let me share my screen right now. And I'll show you with a trade I am in. Okay, trying to share my screen. Now, I chose this pair, which is CHF JPY. Okay, CHF JPY. Now, I opened a buy position on CHF JPY early this morning. That was around 12 a.m. Okay, I opened a buy position. Just look at the area I boxed. Now, let me just hide this. Okay, yeah. Now, this is early this morning, and this is now. Okay, so I opened a buy position on CHF JPY early this morning because I knew CHF JPY would buy, and JPY is an Asian pair. Okay, it was an Asian pair, so I knew JPY would be weak, while CHF would be strong. So I opened a buy, and it rallied higher. Okay, so during this time, this is where we have trying to pick out a tool there. This is where we have the London session opening. Okay, so during the overlap of London and Asian session, we had a dump in price, and immediately London session opened, which I told you CHF is a London pair, okay, and a London session pair. And I knew it would be strong during London session. See what CHF did. It rallied all the way up until now it's still rallying. So this is how It happens in the financial markets every single time. This is how it occurs every single time in the financial market. Let me show you another one on my MT4 platform. Okay, I'll load my MT4 platform right now and show you how it happens also. Show you how it happens on my, and you get to see it also. So I'm trying to load. Yes, I'm trying to load my MT4. That's why I'm trying to load my MT4. That's why. Trying to turn on the period separator so you can see how price starts in a trading day and how it tends to also still continue that way. Okay, but let me share my screen nevertheless so you get to see it better. Okay, so this is the Eagle Global Markets MT4. Let me just show you from the beginning of the day. Okay, so this is USD JPY. Okay, USD JPY. Let's turn on the period separator. Share my screen one more time, and let's turn on the period separator. Okay, show period separator. Okay, okay. Let me just mark it out myself. Now this is the beginning of a new day, right here. Let's go to the 15 minutes time frame. And this is the beginning of a new day. Now, the beginning of a new day is basically the Asian session, right? And look at what we have right here. This is the Asian session from 000 to 8. Okay, so from 000 to 8. Here we have the Asian session. And you will see that so far during the Asian session, the USD JPY pair did not really move. But I promise you that during the New York session, which is going to start by 2, you'd see how USD JPY will trade with a lot of volume, either to the upside or to the downside. You see how USD JPY is going to trade with a lot of volume, either to the upside or to the downside. So this is basically just giving you an idea on how this works. This is New York session on the 27th. See how this is 2 o'clock right here, 2 o'clock candle right here, and see how it went down massive. This is New York also. See how it went up massive. Let's go to other pairs. Let's check the ER USD. 3 minutes time frame. Let's see if the period separator pops up on here. This is the 15 minutes time frame. And this is London session right here. See how it went higher. This is London session right here. See how it went higher. This London into New York overlap. See the price reaction right there. London right here. It's 8 o'clock. Somewhere around here. Went up. 8 o'clock somewhere around here. Went down. So basically, the whole idea is to understand how price would react during that session. Now, how do you know how price will react during that session? Now, the truth is, you can't be too sure on how price will react. But once you understand how price is likely to react during a session, okay, during a session, you have a higher chance of capitalizing on that move. Now, how do you capitalize on the move? Let's see that on the slide. Okay. Trying to share my slide also. Now, understanding price will move 20 to 25 pips. How do you capitalize on the reaction of time and price? Now, this is where you'll be referred to previous webinars. So see, we've talked about how price reacts over and over again. Also, I'll show you an accumulation, manipulation, distribution, formation. But capitalizing on reaction of time and price. Different traders have different means of capitalizing on the price reaction during different trading sessions. At Eagle Global Markets, we usually advise our clients to do this by following the 3 steps below. Okay, so the first step is you either wait for accumulation, manipulation, distribution, formation. Okay, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, formation is a trading pattern of how price is basically about to move during the day, during the week, during the month. Okay, the second method is waiting for a breakout. This is where you use your moving average or your trend line or a box tool, whichever tool you prefer, waiting for a breakout. Then the last one is using an identification tool before an explosive move happens. This is where you can use your Bollinger Band and any of this. So let me show you on the chart how this works. Okay, so let's start with number 3, which is the 2 on. Okay, now this is ERUSD 15 minutes. Okay, I would like to reset my chart templates to this Bollinger Bands. Okay, so I'll just delete this. I'll delete this indicator window and delete this indicator window. So I'll just turn off a few things. I'll turn off a few things on my chart. So if you'd like to make your chart this way, all you need to do is go to properties, turn off your grids, and you like to change the colors of your chart. Well, I'll leave the colors of my chart this way. Okay, so now this is the beginning of a new day. Okay, and you see how price moves every single time. See how price moves every single day using the Bollinger Band. Now, all you want to do is using this tool, using this Bollinger Band tool, which I'll share my screen right now for you to see. Okay, all you need to do is use this Bollinger Band tool to see how price is going to react. Now, let me show you on the screen. Now, I said this white line shows you the beginning of the day, the beginning of the day, the beginning of the day. Now, using the Bollinger Band tool is simple. All you want to do is you want to look for buying opportunities at the low of the Bollinger Band, the beginning of the day, or you want to look for selling opportunities at the high of the Bollinger Band. Okay? And this way you can capitalize on 20 to 30 pips. You don't want to make too many pips. You just want to make small. This is 25 pips or 26 pips. You could have capitalized on that. This is 20 pips. This is about 30 pips. This is 40 pips right here. This is 42 pips. This is 28 pips. So you see, all you need to do is just wait for price to either come to the low or the high of the Bollinger Band. Now, this is ERUSD, okay? This is ERUSD. This is a New York session pair. Look at this. 2 o'clock, exactly 2 o'clock. It came here, and look at how you had this explosive move to the upside. Now, let's look at this also. This is 2 o'clock right here. It came to this low. This is 2 o'clock right here. It came to this low. And look at what we had. We had just 20 pips delivered right there. Now, if you look at ERUSD, all you need to do is wait for 2 o'clock somewhere around here. Now, this is a sweet AMD right here. I will explain AMD soon. Then we should see ERUSD dump a bit today. Let's go back in time and see. This is 2 o'clock around here. It didn't really go up. But just based on wherever you see price at the time of that session, 2 o'clock here, okay, 2 o'clock there, and look at how far the price went. 48 pips right there. Now, you'll be wondering, how do you know it's going to go to 48 pips? This is where I talked about you combining it with other tools, okay? You combining it with other tools. You can use support and resistance. You can use trend lines. You can use whatever it is as an addition to this tool. Now, we've talked about using it as a tool. Let's talk about waiting for a breakout. Now, what is a breakout? A breakout is basically after price has stayed in a certain area for a long period of time, it escapes the area. Let's go to USD CHF and see this happen. Okay, let's go to the 15 minutes time frame, and now this is a breakout. Okay, this is, let's mark out a new day. This is a new day, yeah. Okay, and this is a new day, yeah. Okay, yeah, we have, so we have 1, 2, 3, 3 new day. Now we said the Asian session. We'll talk about the Asian session, how you can use it as a breakout to trade other sessions. This is price in and accumulation here. Okay, so price in and accumulation here. Then we had a breakout. Then we came back for a retest here. Now, coming back for a retest here, we did not trade lower. We went higher. Now, this area, if you had used other tools with it, you would have not taken a sell here. If you are taking a sell here, you would literally have lost money right here. So you might literally have lost money right there. But if you took a sell there and you used a proper stop loss of possibly 20 pips right here, this was not up to 20 pips, this was 7 pips move, and price went down how many pips? Sweet 100 pips. Sweet 100 pips down there. 100 pips delivered in that day. You would have made a 1 to 5 risk to reward ratio here. This is another accumulation right here. Asian session to trade other sessions. See, we broke out right here. We broke out here and we came back for a retest. Coming back for a retest gave us 100 pips. Oh, sorry, 74 pips right there. Look at this also. We had accumulation today. Okay, so we had accumulation. We broke out, came back for a retest. This is running at how many pips? 30 pips already to the downside, which still has a chance of going to 100 pips, if not more. So this is how you see. Now, this is USD CHF. We said New York session, okay? New York session. This is 2 o'clock right there. This big moves you're seeing is 2 o'clock. This big move you're seeing, 2 o'clock. This move you're seeing happened in London. Now, why did this move happen in London? Because we have CHF as the pair there. Okay, so CHF is the London pair. That's why this is happening in London. You see, most of the breakouts happen in London. Then the impulsive move happens in New York because of there are two pairs there. We have the London pair and the New York pair. Now, to explain the last one, which is accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Okay, so this is how it works. Now, accumulation is this way. Let me look for a pair that has it. Well, it doesn't happen all the time, but it is the best method to trade this. Okay, let's look for, okay, found one right here. Found one. It happens mostly on GBP pairs though. So this is an AMD right here. Accumulation. Okay, so this is an accumulation. Accumulation price went up Accumulation price stayed in the range for quite a while. Manipulation price went up, and price is literally going to fall hard. That's accumulation, manipulation, and distribution right there. Simple and easy right there. Accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. It happens every time, every day on the charts. Okay. So literally, if I sell here, so let's take for instance, if I sell here, okay, let me use this to move my chart. So if I sell here, my stop loss will be here. This is how many pips stop loss? This is 15 pips stop loss. My take profit has to be 2 times or 3 times. So I'll be aiming for 45 pips. Okay. So 45 pips should be around here. Let's see though. Let's see. 45 pips is. Yes, exactly there. Although I have to move it up a bit. Yes, good. So if you take a sell right here, all you need to do is just relax because this is an AMD pattern. We accumulated, we manipulated to the top, and now we are distributing to the downside. So this is how it happens every single day. Let's see if it happened yesterday on the 27th. It didn't happen on the 27th. Let's see if it happened on the 25th. Okay, it happened on the 25th, yes. So this is accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So it happens mostly on GBP pairs. It happens mostly on GBP pairs, and you can see how this one for GBP is playing out. Now, the idea behind this is not to take it as a holy grail, okay? It works multiple times, yes, but that doesn't mean it's an holy grail, okay? There are times it will fail, possibly due to a mistake or a news from the market or a mistake from your end also. It's most time not even the market. Sometimes it's a mistake from your end, okay? Most times it's not the market. Sometimes a mistake from our end, like using a very, very tight stop loss or something like that. But in this scenario, all you want to do is to monitor your trade, okay? Once it's an accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, monitor your trade. You might want to add another factor to it, okay? You can use the 9 and 18 moving average I taught you, okay? So this is the 18. Let's add the 9 moving average also. So this way, you have 9, okay? Exponential, color blue, and this should be exponential also color red. So you see it aligns, okay? It's telling you there's a tendency that price will fall, which we expect price to. So this way, we are capitalizing on GBP USD sell because it aligns with our moving average. So every single tool I've talked about previously on the webinars, they all work. They all work. It just depends on how you want to capitalize on it. And literally, if you took the trade, you should be in profits by now. So this is just how important time and price is together. How important time and price is together. So let's go back to the slide and you can see it working in real time. If you took the trade, you should be in profit right now. And this is just how it happens over and over and over and over, over and over and over and over every single time. But do keep in mind that the markets are open from Monday to Friday and not during the weekend. So opening and closing time also vary during the month of October and November and March and April because some countries they basically use DST, which is daylight savings, and they shift during those times of the year, such as the UK and the US and Australia also. So some markets might close at times that you don't even consider and you might get stuck in a trade. So this is to let you put this into consideration. Every single thing we talk about into consideration. Okay. Trading times, many traders give a wide bet, including major news or economic data release, Fridays or Sundays, and relevant public holidays. So when you want to trade sessions, take into consideration all of these things. Economic calendar, what news are we having that day? That news can be in your favor, it can be against your favor. It might be the reason you lost that trade. It might be the reason you made a lot of money from that trade. Okay? And also take into consideration of Fridays and Sundays, because there might have been a news event on Friday after the news have closed and it reacts on Mondays or react on Sunday night when the market opens. Okay? And note that London is the largest session in the world. That is why I basically trade London pairs the most. Okay, London session the most. Once I want to day trade with this method, I use the London session to day trade the most. I look for setups like this. And knowing that London is the largest session, followed by New York and Asian session, this should give you an idea of which of the sessions you want to capitalize on, which of the sessions you want to find yourself in. Okay, should give you very, very good idea of which of the sessions you want to find yourself in. So you don't end up trading the wrong session because of you like the pair. You trade the session that gives you the most money by getting yourself familiarized with that certain financial instrument. Now, to bring everything we've said in today's webinar to a conclusion, when trading using time and price, you must first determine whether there is high or low volatility when you trade. Okay, so whenever you're trading, you want to understand which of these volatilities suits you. Okay, which of these volatilities suits you. Is it high volatility that suits you or low volatility? Once you've determined that, now next is to consider what you will be doing, which of the sessions you'll be trading. Okay, I just sent out a poll. Please let's respond to it. Thank you very much. Once you consider the sessions you'll be trading, which one are you trading? Are you in the US? You have to trade pairs like GBP, JPY. You must wake up early in the morning to keep up with the market. If you're in Nigeria, you can trade all of the session, okay, except the Asian session, because you'll be sleeping by then, but you still catch up with a bit of it. You can trade the New York and the London together. The final step will be to determine what time are the best to trade while accounting for volatility bias. Okay, a trader needs to determine what time frames are most active for trading their preferred pair. Now, this time and price reaction, I basically use it on the 15 minutes time frame because that is where we see that's like I would like to say the mean threshold for all time frames. Okay, that's like the mean threshold for all time frames. Now, for example, if a currency pair is a cross made of currencies that are mostly actively traded during Asian and European hours, such as the EUR, the EUR-JPY, and GBP-JPY, there will be a greater response to the Asian and European session overlap and less dramatic price increase during the European and New York session. So if you're trading basically EUR-JPY and GBP-JPY, you see a lot of reaction whenever the Asian and the London session overlap one another. Okay, there's going to be a certain reaction in price when they overlap. So you don't expect much from those pairs during the London and the US session. Okay, I sent out a poll. Please let's respond to it. That brings us to the end of today's webinar. I'm open to taking questions. Please do send your questions in using the question section. And please do respond to the polls using the poll section. Okay, so I'm sending in one last poll. Please let's do respond to it. Thank you very, very much. And I'm open to taking questions. I can see Christian is typing. I'm waiting for his question. Christian, if it's a question, please do drop it in the question section, okay? If it's a question, kindly drop it in the question section. If it's a question, kindly drop it in the question section. Thank you very much.